We have some deployments that are coming at the end of this year, Alpha 1 being one of them.
All right, guys, it's Jahlon with the Paradox Gaming Network, and I want to talk the Ashes of Creation live stream. And there is so much in today's live stream video that I'm actually taking a big part of it. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to make a standalone video. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What we got today was we got this amazing 4K video on mounts, and they showed off a lot of different mounts, a lot of different stuff, a lot of bits and pieces. If you listen to all the dialogue, there's enough meat in that dialogue for me to finally do the Ashes 101 on mounts. Intrepid has loaded this video as a standalone, so that link is in the description below. I recommend you check out the standalone video, and next week, be looking for the Ashes 101 on mounts. With that said, I want to continue on with the monthly update. The studio update is they have 20 of the 24 positions hired. Their next hiring phase is going to be in January. Now, I do feel it necessary to talk the particular jobs they're looking for. Some people are worried because of the jobs they've advertised, and they say, why are they looking for these positions? Don't they already have these positions hired? Well, yes, but a lot of these positions you have more than one of. They do have producers. They have an amazing producer, but you need more. One does X, one does Y, one does Z. Ignore the people out there that are rabble-rousing about how these positions being open is a bad thing. Those people have no clue as to how big organizations function. Be completely honest with you, I would be worried if Steven wasn't hiring more producers at this point, because producers are project managers, and on a really big project, you need a lot of project managers. Now, I want to talk the studio move. They are still planning on moving into the studio in January or after January. And for the people that don't understand why this is a smart move, COVID is simply crushing California right now. Places like Universal and Disneyland, they can't even open. So for Intrepid to try to move into their studio, bring everybody off working from home, just to put them in the studio, to then be told, nope, you got to work from home again, that'd be a waste of manpower. They are still planning on deploying Alpha 1 this fall. You heard that at the very beginning of the video. What I do want to talk about is I want to say this. I'm a little concerned that Intrepid didn't foot stomp that a little harder. Alpha 1 was like the thing people wanted to hear about in this live stream. We're in fall. We're not in Alpha 1. What does the roadmap look like? The only thing I'm hoping is that Steven is holding the Alpha 1 sort of roadmap for his creative director's letter, which is due out this week or maybe early next week. So with that said, we pop back in and we're going to look at testing. They've had 440-ish testers. These are the leaders of men in the Phoenix Initiative. They have done 3 confirmed testing sessions. That was on Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. And let me tell you why this is reassuring. They're getting a lot of data, and it means that they're comfortable where they are with their 4.23 to 4.25 transition. That generated a lot of bugs, and now if they've had 3 testing sessions in 1 week, that's a good sign. I also want to show off this underwater stuff. I want people to understand the underwater images will get better. This is the rough first pass on the water shader. I did hear a lot of complaints about how bad this looked. Don't let that fool you. Again, most of the animation passes, there's still multiple animation passes to go. This is a first pass on the water. Somebody did ask, will there be goggles to make it look better? And they said no. They want the visual underwater to be fair across the board, no matter what gear you're using. I do want to show off some of the art. As you're seeing, I do love the art update every month. A lot of these things look really, really good. I usually don't splice in audio clips. I do want to splice in a specific audio clip with a visual from Jeff when we start talking about the racial armor, how it's the same armor, different races, and different appearance. So I'll let Jeff knock that one out.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out, like, if you take a look at that video again, Violet Light and myself are wearing exactly the same armor set, right? Same stats, same everything. But it drops for her, it looks one way, it drops for me, it looks another way. And a big part of that is a small part of that is gender, but then the other part of it is race. So because I was a Valoon in that playthrough, my armor was in the Valoon style. And when she picked it up, it was in the elven style because she was an elf. So that kind of gives you an example of sort of the breadth of looks that we're going for and how we kind of try to capture like who you are as a character, and kind of allow you to kind of build your look that way. So,
Right.
All right, guys, it's the Q&A. This is actually my favorite part of the show, and that's why we're back on the blackboard. I feel this just works better as a PowerPoint presentation. First question. What is to stop friends from killing friends to avoid the corruption penalty of dropped gear and stuff? Nothing. And that's by design. So your friend kills you and you get to keep your stuff. That does absolutely nothing to stop the negative XP part of the corruption penalty, which is a 300 to 400% death penalty as compared to a non-combatant. If it takes more than one death for you to clear all of your corruption, now you will actually need to hide from the bounty hunters and all the people looking for revenge. Because remember, when you die as a corrupted, you respawn at a random respawn point. Now, does this mean your cleric friend can't raise you? We don't have a definitive answer for that. So yes, sure, you could have somebody keep rezzing you and killing you, but you're still going to be on the bounty hunter's radar, and they're going to be coming. Will the world be a plane or will it be a sphere? Final answer, no world wrap. So it will be a plane. Sad face. Luckily, this is something they could change later if they decided to. They needed to make a design decision so they could move forward. Lots of other game design decisions were resting on this decision, and they finally made it. So, Flat Varens, you win this one. Let's talk, will there be stamina for swimming? No. Will there be a hard cap on targets for AoE? So in short, will your AoE only hit 6 people, 8 people, or will it hit everybody in the area? The answer is leaning towards no. There will not be a hard cap. If there are 15 people in your ground reticle, you will hit all 15 people. This is not a conclusive, definitive final answer. It does require testing data. So when you're testing Alpha 1, you're testing the combat, make sure you give good articulated responses. Don't just say this sucks, because this sucks or this is bad is ignored feedback. Give them meaningful feedback. Let's talk about, will there be a party duel system? So can you duel up as 2 people, 5 people, and duel another group of 2 or 5? The answer is no reason why not. And so it is on their radar. Big question that we're still going to need a little bit more answering from. If your node is at war with the node your guildmates live in, will that stop you from being able to party? The answer is no, you can still party, you can still do co-events. Keep in mind you are flagged with each other. And this is still going to be a lot of testing, a lot of subject to change. What I was kind of hoping that Steven or Jeff would dive into, would they be like, yeah, you could party, but other parties of your guildmates would damage you. So are you still going to be vulnerable to damage from your guildmates? Not necessarily in the same party, but maybe if there's other parties of your guildmates that you're at war with. So that's, I got to kind of get a second go at this question, get a little bit more detail. Will ships be used in node sieges near coastal nodes? We've been asking this a lot, and we finally got a little bit more out of Steven this time. There will be some objectives in the harbors, so ships can engage in that part of the siege component. So yes, if you're sieging a coastal node and it has a harbor, you can use your ship offensively. Can we craft legendary gear? Yes, with legendary materials and legendary facilities and legendary crafters. We have, does gear have a finite repairability? And the answer is no. They have a material repair system, which means you not only have to have gold, you also have to have iron ore or mithril or logs or whatever that item takes. So this is another one. We were waiting for a definitive answer on, will gear have a finite repairability? And we finally have that answer, so we can move forward. Can all abilities be changed into action or tab? The answer is no. It is limited to some abilities, and this requires an investment of skill points. So some abilities, when you invest in them, it will change them from action or tab. As a reminder, abilities are action or tab only, They are not both. This is not Guild Wars where you change the camera and all of your abilities change. I will say one follow-up question to this is, if you change an ability from action to tab or tab to action through the investment of skill points, I do not know what happens with your 75 to 25 max ratio. Would that mean I change an action ability to a tab ability through the investment of skill points? So now I have to count that as one of my tab abilities? That's absolutely possible. Again, this is marked for further questioning. We have, will there be a guild audit log? And the answer is yes. And I have to say thank you for this. You're going to be able to see people who join and people who leave. You're going to be able to see kicks and promotions. You're going to be able to see deposits and withdrawals. I always hate being a guild leader and then having people say, well, I'm always putting stuff in the guild bank and I never ask for anything. And you're like, what do you ever put in? Now I'm going to have the audit log where I can say, you've put in exactly 4 iron ore and you're asking for a mithril sword. That dog don't hunt. With that said, guys, this was an amazing live stream today. Like I said, I wish Intrepid would have foot stomped a little bit harder. That Alpha 1 is still slated for the fall. That's why I led with that audio segment. I wanted you to hear it from Steven direct. If you guys are looking for more information, over to my side, ashes101.com. Go visit there. If this is your first experience with Ashes of Creation, welcome to the community. Stop what you're doing, sign up for the game. Whether or not you use my referral link, that is up to you. That's in the description below. If you guys want to get in touch with me, I am Jahlon #0001 on Discord. Also, if you would take a moment to look at the description of the video, if it is still October 16th, 2020 or before, take a look at the description below. I'm doing a little charity work for Operation Supply Drop. I'd appreciate it if you would consider donating to the American men and women of the armed forces who are deployed. Operation Supply Drop right now is going to be going all the way through the Christmas holiday season for the uniformed service members who are going to be away from home for Christmas. Morale items are a little light this year due to COVID, due to the VA not being able to do gift packages, due to VFW halls being closed and not being able to do care packages. So if you're willing to support Operation Supply Drop, I would appreciate that. With that said, I got to put this in a post. I'm going to be busy all week. I will see you guys Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays on my stream. Stop by. You can ask your Ashes of Creation questions live and get a more detailed answer than a YouTube comment can give. Until then, you guys stay safe, and I'll see you next time. What are you still doing here? Nobody ever stays this long. This is the end screen. Well, since you're here, there's a couple other videos I think you should check out. And all those names, those are my patrons over at Patreon. I couldn't do this without them. So, big thanks to them for all their support.